you're trying to shift. Since September I finally shifted for the first time. My mind cannot comprehend this well.
Said forever, now I drive alone past your street. I've been watching you for some time. Can't stop staring at those ocean eyes. Red lights, stop signs, I still see your face in the white cars. Front yards, can't drive past the places we used to go to, 'cause I still fucking love your face.
If you're anything like me, you've probably seen on Shift Doc that the only thing you need to shift is intention. And if you're anything like me, you've seen those videos and be like, okay, well, I want to shift, so why is it happening? Stop yourself right there. Keyword is want. When you want something, you're acknowledging that you don't have it. That's why a lot of people become obsessed with shifting, because they're obsessed with wanting to shift, and they're actually just manifesting and acknowledging that they don't have it, and they're manifesting that into existence. That's why you're not shifting. When you set an intention, it's sort of like a mindset. It's sort of like being at a restaurant and asking the waiter for water. You know you're going to get it, so you don't really worry about it. Now, if you walk into the restaurant and you're super thirsty and you sit down on the table and you're like, please, can I just get some water? I'm super thirsty. It's going to feel like forever waiting for that water because you're super thirsty and you're acknowledging that you don't have the water. That's what most of us are doing with shifting. Don't worry, I'll make a part 2 on this method.
If you aren't having success trying to shift realities, then you're probably making this one critical mistake. You see, when shifting realities, the absolute key is that state of being. What this means is when you're envisioning your scene, when you're feeling the feelings of that particular reality, you have to make sure that you're not feeling this as something that happens in the future, as something that you need to get. You would want to feel it as something real to you now. Feel it as a present moment reality. Maybe even feel it as something that's already happened, because time isn't really real. So if you feel it as the present moment reality, this is what puts you into that state where this is your reality, and thus you shift. And if you want some more help on how to do this, click the link in my bio and schedule a discovery call with me today to join my manifestation mentoring program.
Bootcamp episode, I don't know anymore. Let's talk about that final push to get you into your desired reality. We've all been there. You feel the symptoms, you feel like you're there, and you open your eyes and you're still in your current reality. For one, I recommend scripting that your eyes open automatically when you're there. 2, to give yourself that final push, try these next few things. Look inward and ask yourself to allow yourself to shift. It sounds silly, I know, but you need to move yourself out of your own way. Next, this is what I do. Act like your DR self is talking to your current reality self. They're both still you, but have your DR self tell you all about the things that they do. Who their friends are, how their classes are, how they dress, all of that. Have them tell you about themselves, and then just become them. You can imagine yourself merging or just turning into them.
Try this as an affirmation. I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me.
Okay, it's slow at work, so I'm hiding in the laundry room to try to tell more stories. So when I shifted, I woke up on the train to Hogwarts on my 5th year. So in my script, I scripted that I would know I was in my DR when I heard my name. And the first thing I heard when I had shifted was, I think Courtney's sleeping. And so I opened my eyes and it was like I was asleep with my head against the window on the train. And I was in one of the trolleys with Draco, Pansy, Blaze, and Angelina, which is my roommate at Hogwarts. And I literally just didn't know what to do. It was a very awkward encounter because when I woke up, I was literally just staring at everybody, and Draco was actually the first person to say something to me. He was like, "What's wrong with you?" And that's something I really wasn't prepared for. Like, I was just like, "Oh, nothing, I'm fine." And then Pansy made a comment about how I looked like I was gonna be sick, and it was interesting. But yeah, so then I had to finish that train ride and act like I was fine when I was internally freaking out.
I'm about to give you potentially traumatizing advice. If you ever are losing motivation to shift, or if you ever are looking for scenarios to think about in your head, literally just imagine yourself dancing with your love interest to this song. You can do it in your head or dance around your room. It's traumatized me, and it literally didn't even happen yet. So yeah.
I just got really, really close to shifting, and it was because I repeated these things in my head and I started to realize these things as I was trying to shift. First of all, you can shift with doubts. You don't need no doubts to shift. And one thing that I kept saying in my head is, I have doubts, and those can't even stop me. I'm still shifting, even though I have doubts. I'm more powerful than my doubts. Second of all, you can't even get drained while shifting. Like, people say, oh, if you go there for too long, you're gonna get drained. That's not true. Your soul has unlimited, endless energy, and you can't get drained. Thirdly, you don't even need high vibrations to shift. I know everyone on TikTok says you do, but people have shifted while they're in a shit mood. People have shifted while they're sad, and you don't need high vibrations to shift. If you don't believe you need high vibrations, then you won't, and you can still shift without them. So I didn't do a method. I was just affirming that I was in my waiting room, visualizing, and then repeating, my doubts can't even stop me. I'm here, and my doubts can't stop me. I'm still shifting, even though I have doubts. I am more powerful than my body here.
Hey shifters, I'm going to tell you the reason why you're not shifting. I am a pretty advanced shifter myself, so I know a thing or two. What method works best? Was I close? What's blocking me from shifting? What can I do to get there? I feel discouraged. I feel like I'm getting close, but then I wake up here. I want to know how to do this. How do I script this? How do I do this? That's the reason you're not shifting, boo. You're asking yourself these questions, and so you're unconsciously doubting your power. Nothing fucking matters. How you script something doesn't matter. Your subcon knows what you want. What method you use doesn't matter. Honestly, it's what works best for you. If you have to ask if you were close, you were close. But none of this matters. And you're not shifting because you're still asking these questions. Shifting is easy, so fuck it. Do as you do. Don't worry.
Being able to use magic, I was not prepared for how freaking cool that would be. So I'm taking a bunch of classes, and in my DR, it's kind of set up like college or high school, whatever. You can pick and choose what classes you want to be in. There's a curriculum you need to follow, but there are a bunch of options you can choose from, and the classes are so cool. So I'm taking Defense Against the Dark Arts, Potions, Charms, Transfiguration, Muggle Studies, and Divination and Astronomy. So something I scripted was that I had prior knowledge, all the stuff I would have learned in the first 4 years when I went into my DR, and I also scripted that classes were easy for me because I didn't want to have no clue what was going on. And regarding textbooks and school supplies, I just scripted that I had everything I needed for class. So when I shifted, everything I needed was in my dorm room in my trunk. So I didn't really have to worry about getting all that stuff. Honestly, half the time I had no idea what was going on, but because I scripted that I did, I would just end up writing stuff down that was right. I don't really...
Hey Shift Talk, hear me out. So I'm sure that if you've been here for as long as I have, you've already done a bunch of manifesting, trying methods, trying no methods, meditating, subliminals, all of that good stuff. I'm just here to give you another tip. A big issue for me was obsession, because the moment I found out that you could shift, I was like, I need to do this now. So this is a message that I got from my spirit guides, and I thought maybe you guys could use it too. Imagine this. You're sitting at home, perfectly relaxed, and then you want a cup of tea. So you go to your kitchen, you boil water, you make it, you drink it, right? When you started wanting that cup of tea, you weren't obsessed over it. You knew that you could get that cup of tea with minimal effort. And because you knew that, you weren't worried about it. Because in a way, you already had that cup of tea. Shifting is the same way. Obsession comes from a lack of something, but you already know how to shift. You don't have to be obsessed over it because you already have it. The universe has given it to you. You just have to accept it. Go make that cup of tea.
Okay, I apologize. This might have to be a part 1 and part 2 depending on how fast I can talk without stuttering. So, I was on my For You page and I just saw like 3 videos in a row being like, I shifted last night, I shifted last night, I shifted last night. So I was like, wow, they just did it so easily. You know what? I'm just gonna shift right now. Like, fuck all these methods. I'm just gonna do it. Like, it's so much easier than I'm making it out to be. So I just like sat on my little chair, put on my headphones and started playing some theta waves. And I didn't really do a method. I was just listening to the waves and then like just affirming in my head, I'm in my waiting room, I'm in my waiting room, and just repeating that over and over and over again. And it was really easy to visualize since my waiting room just looks like exactly like my room. And so I was like, I know I'll be there when my eyes pop open. And a lot of crazy things started happening. So first of all, I started feeling like my entire body felt super tingly and numb. And then my hearing started going in and out and in and out. And it was like I would hear the waves, but then I wouldn't hear any.
Guys, so I've been trying to shift since the summer when I discovered Harry Potter TikTok, was on Draco Talk, all that jazz, and like months and months and like were going by and I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't feeling anything. I thought this was some big inside joke that I just wasn't a part of or was never gonna understand. It is real. It is so real. Oh. So I'm not a shifting account, so I haven't like said anything about it yet. I made a like POV or like a story time the other day and a lot of people liked it. 4 nights ago, I shifted for the first time, and I am still not over it. Like, I am still not over it. I can't. So, I don't know, this is me just asking you guys, like, if you want to hear stuff about it. I know I usually just post funny Harry Potter stuff and, like, POVs and whatnot. But I, like, need to tell people about this because I was doubting for so long, and it literally happened for me, and it can happen for you, too. So, I'm sorry. I'm just so happy. Like, I can't even tell you. I'm, like, it's real.
So you want to learn how to make your own subliminals for reality shifting? Well, you came to the right place. Step 1 is to write down your affirmation. I usually do about 5 to 10. Avoid using negative words and make sure they're in the present tense. Next, I'm going into iMovie and I'm using a dark picture as my background. Click the microphone button and record your affirmation. Now double the speed and turn the volume down to about 15%. Now just duplicate the sound a few times. And I like to use songs from the sentimental track on iMovie, but you can use any downloaded songs that you have. You should have something that looks similar to this. You can make it as long or as short as you'd like, then just save it to your device and upload it to YouTube as a private video, or you can just listen to it directly from your device. Good luck and happy shifting.
Friendly reminder not to care about the symptoms when you're shifting. I'm going to explain it to you guys really simple. So when you're going on a road trip, obviously you have your starting point and your destination. You only have one destination, and usually the destination is the only thing on your mind. Now, if you care about every single thing that happens between your starting point and your destination, you are not thinking about your destination. You are thinking about everything in between it. And that's not gonna get you anywhere. Like, yeah, it's fun to point out, but that's not the point of the road trip. The point of the road trip is your destination. And I know there's the saying that, oh, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey in between. Well, in this case, it's just about the destination. When you are shifting, you need to focus on your DR and only your DR. Don't focus on the symptoms. Focus strictly on getting to your DR. Like, yeah, you can acknowledge the symptoms that you get, but don't focus on them, okay?
There lived a certain man in Russia long ago. He was big and strong, in his eyes a flaming glow. Most people look at him with terror and with fear. But to Moscow, see you driving round town with the girl I love, and I like her.
I've just had a breakthrough. Okay, ever since I was little, time just made no sense to me. I was never okay with the fact that it existed. It always just confused me, never made sense. Ever since I was little, I'd come back to the subject of now. And I'd say, this is now. I'm doing this now. And I'd almost take like snapshots of what's going on. And I'd think back on all the other times that I said, this is now, and be like, that's not now, because it's so weird, because this is the only now that I'm experiencing right now. Like, the only now that I'm gonna ever understand is the now that I'm making this TikTok. So I'd think back at all the times that I said this is now and be like, okay, well, if a now can be in the past, it can also be in the future. So I started doing it to the future, saying now is Christmas, now Christmas is over, now is my birthday, now I'm doing the thing that I have dreaded doing, now I'm done with all that. And then I realized, instead of just being like, oh yeah, I've already shifted, trying to convince your subconscious of that, we know that we're going to shift in the future. So now I'm sitting in the Great Hall eating lunch. Now I'm up at 2 a.m. in my dorm. Now I'm in potions class. Now I'm doing charms homework. Now.
And I was running far away. Would I run off the wall someday? Nobody knows, nobody knows. And I was dancing in the rain. I felt alive and I can't complain. But no, take me home where
Hello, so like on this account, I think we've kind of agreed that I'm kind of a little bit crazy, a little bit, you know, like weird, but like that's fine. I think everyone in this like community is a bit weird. And on my ideas, like the whole brain thing, a load of people were like agreeing with me, saying I was clever, so that's boosted my ego, and I've had another idea. So I'm gonna call it the Seren method, and I want my name in it because the Estelle method has her name in it, so I want my name in it. So what you want to do is in your script that once you have shifted, you will wake up in your current reality bedroom, right? And then you will get a knock on the door. When you open that door, you will step through and that will be your desired reality. What this does is, because obviously, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh crap, I haven't shifted, and that kind of brings you down and makes you not believe in it as much. If you wake up thinking and believing that you are in your desired reality, you will be in it. You will get that knock on the door and you will walk through that door and you will be in your desired reality, because it's all about belief. So if you wake up in your current reality bedroom and you think, oh, I have already shifted, you will shift. Let me know what you think.
Is this all real? Or is it just happening inside my head?
Of course it's happening inside your head, Harry. Why should that mean that it's not real?
Makes me feel this way. Take it to the chorus. Go ahead, be calm with it. Go ahead, be calm with it.
Are you seriously losing motivation to shift? Okay, look. So I have 2 crystals. One is purple, one is blue. Pick one. Got it? Okay. Did you know that you just shifted? Just now. By choosing a crystal, by making that decision, you shifted. For example, if you chose this one, there's a reality where you chose this one. If you chose this one, there is a reality where you chose this one. Wasn't that really easy? So you're telling me you just shifted now, but you're losing motivation to shift to your desired reality? To the one that you scripted? That does not make sense. I really don't understand why you're here right now. Like, go shift. They're waiting for you. Imagine all of the memories you're going to make. Imagine all of the people you're going to meet. Imagine all of the fun experiences. Just think about who's waiting for you. What are you doing? Go. Go.
This is your sign to stop overcomplicating shifting. All it takes to shift is repeatedly driving it home to your subconscious that you're in your DR until your conscious brain finally gives in. You don't need anything special to shift. Just do whatever works for you in order to trick your brain. Just fake it till you make it.
I've been in like 1,000 times, dated every woman in the atmosphere. I've been to every continent, broken all the hearts in every hemisphere. And if I'm not the type of guy you like to circumvent, just remember not to love me when I disappear.
So I feel like shifting gets misconstrued by a lot of people, especially the people that have no idea what they're talking about. And they'll say, for example, they'll just be like, oh, I don't believe in shifting because how do you be so calm about it? Like, I would be freaking out. First of all, I'm just not an obnoxious person. But to answer the question, yes, it can get boring and it will get boring. Because like I've been saying, it is a reality. It's just another life taking another different plot. And there's definitely a lot of times that you're not gonna like or enjoy in it. And don't get me wrong, it really is exciting and such a beautiful experience, honestly. And you can or will be in the state of shock your first few times shifting, but it definitely will not stay that way. You will get used to it and it will just become normal to you.
Sorry this took so long to make, and I'm going to have to talk kind of fast because there's a lot to go through. So I don't even know if this is a real method. It just kind of worked for me, so I stuck with it. So basically, I do this all at night, like before I go to sleep. So then I like sleep while shifting. So first thing I do is read over my script. Second thing I do is, because I normally shift at Hogwarts, if I'm trying to shift to like fourth year, I'll watch the Goblet of Fire so that like I can like see what's happening and where I should be. And then when I get really tired, I like put myself in like the place of whoever's on like the screen. For example, if I'm like watching where Hermione is walking down the stairs, I'll picture myself as Hermione and I will take into account what I hear, see, smell, look, whatever the fuck. And then when I get really tired, my eyes are like not cooperating and they like need to go to sleep. Because I always watch the movie on my laptop, so I have another tab open with subliminals. So then I just turn off the movie, put on the subliminals, and then I just like lie in the starfish position and then I say affirmations, count to 100. Boom, there, bitch. And this is just some advice. Don't listen to like all the TikToks saying, oh, you need to shower, you need to shave. You don't. They raise your vibrations, but you don't. All you need to have is good intention. Go shift, baby! This is never gonna work. I look so stupid right now. You know what? Fuck it. 1, 2. Wake up! What the What? The fuck you looking at, bro? Cause you won't get out of my room. I'm gonna stay. So you're saying you wanna look at me change? No! What the fuck? Yeah, so, can you please get out? Alright, I'm leaving, but like, can you hurry up? No way. This is not real. What is going on? I'm literally dreaming. I'm dreaming.
Let me tell you my problem with shifting realities. I feel like if I shift, I'm not gonna want to go back. You know, like Albus is gonna be like, Emma, it's time for you to go back now. And I'll be like, bitch, you ain't getting me out here without dragging me out, motherfucker. Elder wanted my ass, bitch. And they're gonna be like, bitch, you have to go. And I'm gonna be like, no, my ass is staying here. I'm dating Draco. I'm friends with the Golden Trio. You think I want to go back to doing distance learning my senior year? Sitting in front of my computer for hours when I could be doing magic spells? No, I'm not going back. You're gonna have to drag me out. Oh, and I also don't know how to shift, so that's also complicated for me, so I don't know.
I am here to tell you, you do not need a method to shift. One more time, you do not need a method to shift. Do you see this? 11 plus 11. You look at that and you know the answer, right? Think of 11 plus 11 being the process of shifting, and then 22 being the desired reality that you were trying to shift to. 11 plus 11 always equaled 22. That in itself is a thing. Now these are some of the methods that you can use to find the sum of 22. They're all there to assist you, but you already know it. The answer and how you got there already exists. So yes, there are ways to help you with shifting, but it's already there. You don't need to limit yourself to the methods because it can be way less complicated if you look at 11 plus 11 equals 22.
Hey, I'm talking.
Hey, my apologies, Miss Girl.
Miss who?
I'm
She
sorry.
not a girl. It's Miss Toller.
It's Judge Toller.
Judge Toller.
Be quiet.
I was dancing in the rain, I felt alive and I can't complain. But no, take me home.
Ron, get out of the kitchen, we're all hungry.
Yeah, get out of the kitchen, Ron.
Feet off the table.
Feet off the table.
Okay guys, I want to share with you my #1 shifting tip, and I think without it I would not have been able to shift. A common misconception that people think is that you should not doubt shifting at all and you should think it is real 100%, which is impossible. The key thing that I did was accept that I had doubts. It didn't matter how many people said they had shifted, I needed to experience it for myself to know it was real. I mean, come on, it seems way too good to be true. I'm telling you right now that shifting is real because I experienced it, but you don't know that unless you experience it yourself, and you need to know that that's okay. So if you ever find yourself doubting while trying to shift, just tell yourself, I know that I'm doubting and I know that it's okay, and then just let it go, because you will shift. I promise, and doubting is okay.
Sit alone. I hope we're still friends, yeah, I hope you don't mind. Sit alone. I hope we're still friends, yeah, I hope you don't mind.
I've gotten a lot of questions like this, and I'm going to answer it here. So basically, I've had doubts. I've been trying for 4 or 5 months, and I've had nothing but doubts. What caused me to not shift is toxic positivity. I believe because of TikTok misinformation that you couldn't have doubts. So anytime I had a doubt, I would ignore it. I would say, oh no, that's wrong. But that did nothing but make it worse. So what instead you can do, and what I started doing, let's say you have doubts, you don't think it's real, or you don't think you're gonna be able to do it. Acknowledge them, realize, find every doubt you have, and just acknowledge it. It's there, you know, you can't get rid of it in that moment. Think about why you have those doubts. Get to the root of why you're having those doubts. The root of my problem was I didn't fully believe in shifting. Then you want to counter it, or at least that's what I did. Instead of saying, what if I can't do it? Ask, what if I can? Instead of what if it's not real, what if it is?
Let the fire in the hay. With the sun comes on, but when I'm creeping up to the bottom, to the hay. Young lovers with their legs tied up in knots. Young lovers with their legs tied up in knots. With